Sarada just tried to speed run eye surgery without anesthesia, and yeah, our Mangekyō Sharingan said, absolutely not. Claim rejected like it was Cigna Healthcare. Blood vessels, they started popping, vision started going fuzzy. Himawari hitting that panic button like she just realized that this wasn't a user manual. Yeah, things got bad for Sarada. But before everyone starts planning Sarada's permanent blind arc like it's already canon, there's something that fans are kind of forgetting, in my opinion, or in some cases might not have known. Because if you think this is the end of her eyesight in the sense that she's always going to be blind forever, congratulations, you just fell for one of the oldest tricks in the Uchiha playbook. Join me in today's newest Naruto Explain video where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, dives into the concern I see in the discourse surrounding Sarada being permanently blind, and some of the blame I see people placing on Himawari, calling Himawari of all people a fraud for not fixing Sarada's eyes in full. Also, don't forget to check out my new Jujutsu Kaisen video on my Anime Explain channel that goes over Takaba's power and the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 33 review, both of which will be in the end credits and in the description box. So the panic is real, but I feel like it's misplaced. Like, that's the big elephant in the room. Sarada's eye, it didn't just get tired, it blew past her limits. She's basically like that car that throws a rod on the interstate. It happened at the worst possible time. And if that sounds oddly specific, it's because it is. I had a 94 Toyota Tercel when I was 17 and it threw a rod on the interstate. We saw blood vessels basically bursting. There was visible strain. She lost consciousness. And Himawari was trying to patch her up and was like, man, I don't know if I fixed it. Like, I stopped the bleeding, but I don't know if she's going to be able to see again. That last part, it triggered a lot of the fandom based on what I've seen. Because when a healer says, maybe, that's never really comforting. It's like, that's your job, you're the healer. Imagine going into surgery with the doctor and the doctor's like, I think I cut out all the stuff inside of you, but I'm not sure. But hey, if you feel bad in a few months, you come back and tell me. But here's the thing, the moment isn't telling you Sarada's done, far from it. Instead, it's telling you that she's just entered into the next stage of the Uchiha clan Mangekyō Sharingan cycle. And this was always going to happen. Like, this is not new, it's not shocking, this isn't even unexpected. The Mangekyō Sharingan has always come with a cost. It's why it's one of my favorite powers in the Naruto series. The more you use it, the more you lose your eyesight. Break it down. Itachi practically went blind and was blind by the time he fought Sasuke, went fully blind during the events of that fight, but even before he went fully blind, his vision was so bad he was seeing 3 versions of Sasuke and was still whooping the dude's ass because he was holding back. Madara and Sasuke both went blind, and I think that that's very important. Sarada was already showing early symptoms. Before this fight, her vision was getting fuzzy, her eye strain was noticeable, her usage was rapidly increasing. When you look at it, does that sound familiar? It should. We kind of saw Sasuke go through a similar things, using Mangekyō Sharingan multiple times before getting into the Killer Bee fight, to the point where he was even using it for stupid stuff like to put a random cloud ninja on the Genjutsu. Sarada didn't randomly get damaged. She was always going to be on that path. This fight just sped it up. She didn't use it per se, she abused it. Sarada went absolutely crazy. Her ability does multiple things, and I think that is something to take into important consideration. It's not like just using Amaterasu one time. No, this is flight, this is gravity manipulation, multiple targets being hit all at once. It's like using Amaterasu back to back to back to back to back to back. Only in this case, she's doing it simultaneously on multiple targets. She's creating and controlling spears. She's detonating those spears. That's not really a basic Mangekyō Sharingan ability. Is multi-layered. It's kind of like Ikimoto's like, I want a bunch of cool things just for this one eye's ability. So like, let me just give her multiple things. A better way to put it, we'll use another tech pun since Boruto uses tech puns. Sarada's Mangekyō Sharingan is like opening up a Google Chrome browser and you have 45 tabs that are open. At the end of the day, you're only using one browser, but you got another 44 tabs that are on there. I'm guilty, I haven't done that. That's kind of what I'm doing. I got like right now 77 tabs up with the split screen feature. My computer is hurting itself right now, but that's kind of like Sarada. That's why I'm using that. Sarada has used this ability repeatedly on multiple targets in a short time span. Again, that's like running 70 tabs on your Google Chrome. That's like running a marathon while sprinting, carrying weights, and your body is already injured. Of course, something snapped. That wasn't just overuse. It was speed running Sarada towards her blindness. That's why Himawari did exactly what she was supposed to do. A lot of fans that I've seen are jumping on Himawari, calling her a fraud because they're saying that she didn't heal Sarada properly. That's not accurate. Himawari did two critical things. She stopped the bleeding, she stabilized the damage. What she didn't do is reverse the core issue. Because here's the truth, Mangekyo Sharingan blindness is not normal damage. It's not. It's not a curse. It's not a bruise. It's not a chakra injury. It's a built-in drawback of the eye itself. Think of it like this. Himawari can fix the hardware damage, and that's what she did. But what she can't do is rewrite the storage limit. That's why she hesitated. That's why she wasn't sure, because instinctually she realized as she was healing Sarada, oh crap, this is something I can't fully heal. Am I making a mistake? And that's actually very huge for this story. And it's important to remember that, again, dramatic irony. We know it's not Himawari's fault, but that's not something that Himawari herself knows. And the reason why is that this is a teaching moment for the new generation. And that's something that I think people overlooking. The characters in universe, they don't know this. They don't know the Uchiha lore. This new generation has never had to ask, what's Mangekyō Sharingan? How does it work? And etc. Mitsuki probably knows. Mitsuki or Boruto are probably going to be the ones that sit there and say, oh crap, Sarada really is cooked and here's why. But taking it a step further, let's just look for a second. I know from talking to some of you guys, and I know from just having lurked and read different things I've seen on various social media platforms, not everybody that is reading Boruto right now has seen Naruto. There are a lot of fans who started with Boruto. They never read the original series. There are even people that have started Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and that's their basis. They saw the Boruto movie, and then they jumped into Boruto 2 Blue Vortex because they liked the designs, and they saw that it was a time skip. Like the same thing happened with Naruto. There were a lot of people that just skipped Naruto Part 1, and some of the things that got addressed in Naruto Part 2, they're like, but bruh, that's a plot hole. It's like, no, it's not a plot hole. You just skipped the first 27 volumes of the story. And even then, there are people that just played the video games, and that's a whole nother set of problems because the video games change things and there are some differences. You can usually tell within a few minutes of talking to somebody if they've read the manga, if they've watched the anime, or if they're using just the video games as their knowledge base. It becomes very, very clear. So I say that to say, with this new generation, with Boruto's characters and etc., there's gonna come a moment where something that we know that should be common sense in universe is going to get explained because there are characters in universe who don't know. And then also Ikimoto is writing with the assumption that like, hey, this is a sequel, so you should know this information, but I'm gonna try to explain it because I know there are gonna be people that skip Boruto Part 1. That's why on the jacket, he's like, hey, you know, you can read the boyhood arc if you want to, but you can also start here. God knows we need a recap for some stuff. Sarada's Mangekyō Sharingan awakening and then her reawakening definitely prove that. The number of people that called it a plot hole and it's not a fucking plot hole proves that point. Moments like this, it's going to serve a purpose. They're reintroducing core mechanics of the world. The story's basically saying, hey, remember that broken power? It comes with consequences. And it's something that like even then, like Masashi Kishimoto alluded to it when he gave the interview back in 2017 for the Q&A he did at Jump Festa just before that. When talking about the Boruto anime, he's like, yeah, like I know there's going to be a lot of newer kids, so we're kind of, and I'm paraphrasing, we're kind of spoon feeding a lot of information that's already there, because we're trying to get a younger generation into the series. That was in regards to the anime, but there's to a degree some of the same thing that happens in the manga. This was a narrative reinforcement. This was not a character destruction like I've seen people trying to argue. The whole she's gonna go blind forever argument, that's a big fear that people have. Is Sarada gonna be blind permanently? No. The longer answer, not like this. Because narratively, this isn't the ending, it's a setup. So think of Sarada like a Pokemon. Only she's been training and getting the experience points. She hasn't been getting a bunch of rare candies. Sarada is getting ready to evolve. Option number one, the Eternal Mangekyō Sharingan. That's the classic route. That's the route that I prefer. You solve the blindness by transplanting the eyes of a close relative. It can't be some random Uchiha. It's got to be a close relative with the Mangekyō Sharingan. You got Sasuke's old eyes in Obito's lab. In Naruto's manga, Sasuke isn't out there destroying the entire lab, and he also was not in the same section where Obito kept those eyes stored away, so the eyes are there. You could achieve stability and you could remove the drawbacks, because she could spam Ohirume without any issues. And it fits perfectly because it continues the Uchiha lore. It continues to reinforce the narrative pattern. Now, the other one, and you guys know I don't like this idea, which is the Byakugou Seal, the 100 healings. That is something that's more interesting, because it would mean that Sarada was learning chakra control during the time skip, potentially even medical ninjutsu and regenerative techniques. You could argue that could be something that is able to reverse the blindness. It would connect her to Tsunade and to Sakura, but at the same time, like, I'm not a fan of it. I know there's foreshadowing for it. I'm not gonna rant when it comes out, but I'm also not gonna be happy even though the foreshadowing's there. Just gonna kind of put it there now in case like that happens and you get to the chapter review and I sound a little annoyed. That's gonna be why. Already done a video explaining why I don't like the idea. Right now, Sarada's entering into what I like to call the Itachi phase. This is the point where vision is unstable. Depth of perception, I mean, that thing is off. Sarada's not looking at things in 4K. Instead, Sarada's looking at things in 360. Like, I know there's like, I think on my analytics, it says that about 15% of you guys that watch the channel are under the age of 18. So like the only thing you've known growing up is like 1080p and 4K and ultra 4K and etc. 360, I think that was like early 90s if I'm not mistaken. That's where like it's like in the box square and it's like super fuzzy. Like calling it a potato would be like if say Chocho, she's 15 now, so let's just move her up to 18 for the sake of being safe, because we ain't trying to end up like Drake and all the other people in the Epstein files, etc. Like that's like if Chocho stays with the exact same dimensions and stuff that she got right now, and she's 18 years old, and she's sitting there talking about I'm slim thick or something like that. Like, you ain't slim thick, you just super extra large thick. Calling 360 a potato in terms of clarity and vision, like that would be like the Chocho thing. Calling 360 that type of thing is like, but that would kind of be like with one of my old bosses that was an absolute bitch to me, so I have no ill will. I have no problem throwing shade at her right now. Like, she had a kid 7 years ago talking about some, I'm still trying to lose the baby weight. Nah, girl, that ain't the baby weight. Like, that's some other problems right there. Like, that's a level of delusion right there. The same way they call in 360 good visual perception is a thing. I know someone's like, Jesus Christ, somebody stop them. This is exactly why I have to script things, because the moment I go off script, I say something that's a little out of pocket or is probably going to piss somebody off. If it don't apply to you, take no offense to it, but this is exactly why I don't fucking live stream, because I will say something that will probably offend somebody. But like, getting back to it though, like, Sarada's gonna have her vision issues. That's gonna be inescapable. But this idea that like she's forever gonna be blind, that this was something Himawari could have fixed, and people dragging Himawari, I don't agree with it at all. Not at all. That's not something that she could control. She did the best she could with the circumstances she had. And, you know, with Sarada, you know, this is just a chance for her and other characters in the universe to learn that the things you do, even if you don't realize it, they have consequences. And you have to live with those consequences, and you have to find a solution to them. Like, again, going back to the Chocho thing, part of the reason why I could kind of rib that way is like, those of you who are in the Patreon Discord server, you know the story. Like, at one point, I blew up to like 275, 76, 77 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark. Like, I wasn't quite 280, but I was right there. I had to lose a lot of weight, and then I had to bulk back up. I used personal stuff I was going through as a crutch. I got mad out of shape for a time period a long time ago now. But for a long period of time, I had to live with the consequences of the decisions I had. I drank a lot, I ate a lot of unhealthy things, and I compromised my health to a degree. That's stuff that you have to live with. Just like Sarada, until she gets a Eternal Mangekyō Sharingan or whatever in the hell she gets, she's gonna have to live with the consequences. Her eyes, they're gonna be doing the woozy dance. She's gonna be looking up and she's like, is that Boruto? Is that a shadow clone? Is that a clone? Like a basic Genjutsu illusion clone? Like, what is this? She ain't gonna be able to tell the difference. She's gonna be throwing a punch and she's gonna miss the target. That's what happens. That's where she is right now. It's not permanent. It's just a transition phase. And that's a good thing. I know it sounds crazy, but this injury is one of the best things that can happen to her character, because it does three things. It adds stakes. Her power now has greater consequences. Every use matters. It forces growth. She can't just spam her abilities even more, especially now that she knows that whatever her second eye power is, as she uses it, she's got to be more strategic. And it also builds towards a payoff. Whether it's Eternal Mangekyō Sharingan, Byakugou Seal, something new, the moment is the foundation itself. So yeah, Sarada's not going blind forever. She's just going through a necessary stage that every Mangekyō Sharingan user has faced. And right now, her vision's cooked. One eye is struggling. She's basically fighting a built-in lag. Like, imagine Sarada's eyes being like that Netflix show that you watch, and all of a sudden, it just starts buffering every 5 seconds. That's where Sarada is. And that's the point, because this isn't the end of her power. It's the price for unlocking it. And when she finally overcomes it, that's when things get scary for everyone else involved. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking on the left to check out the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter review, or click here on the right to check out that Jujutsu Kaisen video that I was just talking about earlier in the video.